Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be recreating this look that I actually created on one of my friends and I was just living for it. The colours look so nice together and this glitter on the inner corner, just amazing. Before we get into the tutorial, please subscribe to my channel, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well, and that'll give you notifications every time I upload so you don't miss one. So if you want to learn how I created this look, then please stay tuned. So the first thing I'm going to do, I feel like I never do this on camera, or if I did at one point, I haven't done it in a long time, but I'm going to prime my lid. So you'll notice I haven't done my brows yet, and that's because I am trying out a few new techniques to me. They aren't obviously new techniques, but they're techniques that other people use that I wanted to try out. So I'm taking the Helen E Stage Eyeshadow Primer, and you only need a tiny little bit of this. So I'm just applying that with a blank canvas F17 brush. And I'm going to start patting that all over my lid, and you want to do like 2 thin layers of this. You don't want to apply too much of this product because it is quite thick. And then I'm also going to take that and carve out my brow with it. I also find that this dries quite quickly, so it might be a good idea to sort of blend as you go with this. So when I'm carving my brow out, I tend to do a little bit and then I'll blend down slightly onto the lid and then do another little bit and just work my way across my brow. And this won't be super noticeable because the shade of this is very similar to my natural skin tone. The only thing is it's very pink. So I would say if you're very pale, it might look a bit dark on you, and then if you're very dark skinned, then it might look a little bit sort of dull on you, or it might look a little bit sort of grayish tone, just because it is a very cool toned product. But hopefully they will bring out more colors in the future. I personally would like a slightly more neutral tone and a little bit lighter as well, so it gives me like that brow bone highlight, but it is a really good base. So I'm not going to set that, and what I'm going to do is just pull down on the outer corner here and just on the inside here, just so we don't have any harsh lines. So the first shade I'm going to take is from the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette, and it is this shade here, which is like a nice pinky tone. It comes out a lot brighter than it is in the pan, so just bear that in mind. You can build this product up to obviously get it the color that it is in the pan, but initially it just comes out quite bright. And I'm going to start blending that with really tiny circular motion just into the crease, almost creating like quite a harsh shape. And I'm just using a Zoeva 231 brush for this step. So now just to start softening the edge of that, I'm just taking a 227 from Zoeva, and this is relatively clean. I did use it on this side to sort of blend out as well, but it's got no extra product on it. And I'm going to really lightly just start feathering that on the edges of where we've laid down this first shade. And then you can go back in with that first shade again and your previous brush, just to build up any uneven areas. So for the next shade, I'm going to go into my Huda Beauty my Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette, and I'm just gonna take this really nice bluey toned pink up in the corner here, and I'm taking that on a Zoeva 224 brush. And what I'm gonna do is just really lightly blend that along the edge of where we've put that first shade down. You can even just overlap this in the crease a little bit as well, just to tie in the color. Oh, I just forgot that I was wearing this top. I'm just going to change my top because this color does not go with this. So now I'm just going to go back in with my Zoeva 227 brush and just really lightly again blend those edges. So now I'm going back into the Morphe 39A palette, and I'm picking up the darkest purple in the palette, this one right here. And I'm taking on a Morphe M507 brush, and I'm going to start this in the crease. just so I can map out. And you really want that area here just to be quite dark so that when you do cut the lid, it really sort of stands out. And then I'm going to really slowly start blending that through the crease and then onto the inner and outer corner. And it doesn't have to be perfectly blended straight away because we are going to go back in with the other shades and these slightly fluffier brushes just to help diffuse that shade. Okay, so once you've got it in your crease like that, we're going to go back in with our Zoeva 231 brush and the first shade that we used, and we're going to pack that onto the inner and outer corners. And then we're going to take a tiny bit more of that shade and really lightly just use circular motions through the crease to help diffuse that really dark shade that we've just laid down. So now we're going to go back in with our M507 and the darkest shade, and we're going to start to pop that onto the inner and outer corners. Okay, and then once I've got the inner and outer corner on, I can kind of look at it from afar and just think that maybe I want to bring this darker shade just out slightly right here in the inner corner. So I'm not adding any extra product to my brush, I'm just using whatever is left just to help deepen this area up a little bit. Then I'm going to pop that brush down, go back in with my 231 brush and a tiny bit of that first shade, and again we're going to go back in. So now I'm just going to go back in with my 224 brush and this shade right here from the Electric Obsessions palette, and then just going to place that along the edge of the darkest shade. I really like this colour, I feel like it gives it almost like a neon kind of vibe. So now that that is basically done, I'm going to move on to the lid and I'm going to cut it out. So I'm just going to take a tiny little bit more of my Helen E eyeshadow base, and then going back in with my F17 blank canvas brush. And I really like this one because it's got a really nice rounded head, so it's really easy for like cutting the crease. So I'm just going to look at the other side and also where my crease placement is, because I kind of want to get it not too far above the crease line but just a little bit so that you can still see it. I do like to just stamp it on little by little, take my mirror back a little bit and just keep looking in different angles. So I feel like I need to come up a little bit higher. Now what I'm doing is just taking a little bit more product and I'm just building up that line to make it really strong. So now what I'm going to do, just to remove some of the excess product from my lid, I'm just going to take my Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush, and this has got no product on it, and I'm just going to use that to tap the edges. This is going to help to blend the spotlight at the edges as well. And then I'm actually just wiping off on my leg. I'm just wiping off the excess that's left on the brush before I do the other side. And then if you find like this has gone a bit pink at the top, you can just go in with a tiny bit more product, clean that up a little bit. Okay, so for the lid shade, I'm actually going to use this Morphe pressed pigment in the shade Hollywood Vixen. It's this really nice, it looks really sort of like gunmetal in the pan, but when you swatch it, it looks so different. It kind of looks like a champagne, and then it like has a really nice shift to like almost like a pearly, really nice. So I'm going to apply that just with the tiny little end from this Urban Decay brush, and I'm going to pick it up on my brush dry to begin with, just to press that onto this crease area here. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and I'm actually just going to spritz my brush just to make the application a little bit more precise. So this next step is completely optional, but I just like to do it just to make the spotlight stand out a little bit more. So I'm just going to take this MAC 209 brush. This is super old, and I'm just going to dip into that first shade, and I'm just going to run that along the top of where we cut the lid, and it almost just helps to clean up the line a little bit. It just makes it stand out a little bit more as well, and it just makes everything look a lot more clean and put together. So now I'm just going to go back in with my M507 brush and the darkest shade, and I'm just going to reapply that to the inner and outer corner. And I'm not taking it too close to the center of the lid, I just want to really intensify it just there. So now I'm going to go back into my Huda Beauty palette, and I'm just going to take on a blank canvas E10 brush, and I'm just going to use that to help to blend in the lid. So I'm just really lightly feathering it along the edge of the spotlight. And then I'm going to go back in one last time with my 231 brush from Zoeva and the first shade, and then just overlap in the center of the darkest shade and when we just lay down the bluey pink shade. Okay, so to finish off the top of the eyes, I just wanted to do a kind of smoky black line across my lashes, just so that I have something for my lashes to sit on, and also to make the lash line blend in a little bit better. So I'm just taking my Illamasqua Precision Gel Liner just on an angled brush, and I'm just going to stamp that along my lash line. And again, because we are going to make this a little bit smoky, it doesn't have to be perfect. So literally just like that, and then to help blend that out a little bit, I'm just going in with my precision pencil brush from Backstage Beauty with no extra product on it just yet, and I'm just using that to gently sort of diffuse the edge of that gel liner. So then I'm just going to go in with the black from the Morphe Dare to Create palette and that same pencil brush, and I'm just literally packing it on over the liner just to make it super dark. And then I'm really lightly going to tap upwards onto the inner and outer corners. I don't want to add too much black, but I just want to sort of blend the liner in. Alright, so now that the top of the eyeshadow is done, I'm just going to pop off camera, do my foundation, brows and concealer, and I'll be right back. Alright, so the brows, foundation, concealer is done. Now I'm going to move on to the underneath of my eyes. So I'm just going to go in first with my Morphe M506 brush and the first shade that we use from the 39A palette. And I'm going to run that all the way along my lower lash line. And then just before we do anything darker, I'm just going to line my waterline. I'm going to use the pink sketch stick from Illamasqua. Now this does stain, so just to bear that in mind if you've got anywhere to go after you do this makeup. And then just to blend that in a little bit, I'm just going to take that colour, the same one again, and just blend that over the top. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with my M507 brush and that darkest shade that we used. And again, I'll run that right along the lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with my blank canvas E10 brush and this shade from the Electric Obsessions palette. And I'm going to take that right along the edge. And what I'm going to do is take a completely clean brush, so I haven't used this one yet, and I'm just going to go right around the edge. And this is just going to help to diffuse that edge line even more, make it even softer. We don't want it to look like a harsh shape. So for the inner corner, I wanted it to be really bright and like almost like a bubblegum pink. So what I'm going to do is go in first with the pink opal shade from the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. I'm going to bring that slightly onto the lower lash line as well. And then just to make it really pop, I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer and the Helen E glitter in the shade Pink Fizz and pop a bit of the glitter glue on first. And then with that same brush, I'm just going to press on the glitter. And this is really nice. It's like a pink and then it's got like an ultraviolet-y purple shift. And it just makes the inner corner really pop, especially when the light catches the like ultraviolet shift. Alright, so I went ahead and put my lashes on, my highlight, my bronzer, and I'm just going to come back to do the lip. And I am doing a nude, but I'm going to do a slightly different nude today. So I'm just going to line with Strip Down. And then to fill in the lips, I'm going to use my NYX Lingerie in the shade Baby Doll, which is like this really light pinky nude. And then I'm just going to use my finger to tap that in a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of my Leftover Liquid Glow by ABH and just tap that on this center. Alright guys, and that is the final look. I was really inspired to do this look because I actually did this exact eye on one of my friends and I just loved the way it came out. I was living for it, so I just had to do it on myself and I love the way it turned out. I haven't done a look with like this bright pink colour in so long, so I'm literally living. I love everything about it. This lid shade as well. And yes, I did a nude on the lips, but I know it's the same, but it's different because these are different lip colour. Everything will be listed in the description box down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well, and that'll give you notifications every time I post. And you can also go and follow me on Instagram too. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.